swap heroes? The unfold has begun. kill. Ace. Gold payout collected. Double kill. Immense gold payout collected. Double kill. Ace.
I don't think they're one of the teams that performs on the line the best, and every time you get to the live championship, they're in that top 4, and they just always seem to make it. But they've been riding that wave. We do get the Saw, the Lance, and it's going to be the Koshka. We'll see what they lock in here at the end.
Yeah, the draft moved quite quickly. We do see the Celeste coming through on side of Tsunami. Interesting. Don't know if it's going in the roam.
Fuji very diplomatically talking about Tsunami's comp there. They're going to be up against G2 Esports in Game 2 of the series. Can G2 make it to Day 2 yet again? Let's find out with Sona and Jingyi.
Thank you very much, AJ, Humanist, and Fuji for breaking down those last games for us. G2, of course, 1-0 up in the series, and I have to admit, I think G2 are the, I was going to say dark horse of the competition, but they're not really a dark horse because they've been showing up week after week. Wouldn't be surprised if they are the ones challenging for that final world's berth.
Yeah, they've definitely just revamped everything, and I think Hundor has a lot to do with it. He's just been playing fantastically, and, well, this is a very, very interesting 3v3 skirmish right now, and I think Tsunami are coming off worse for it.
Yeah, they're on the back foot already, and into a Lyra, that's never a place you want to be. She's going to continually slow you, get all of that extra damage down. Dark Potato is going to be able to steal away the forward camps, and just gets them a big advantage once again. Reddick's going to position behind PT Lamb, puts the Imperial Sigil down just for a bit of extra poke. Really good job here by G2, already solidifying their early lead, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this Saw Lance as a common combo. You know, suppressing fire into Impale is so powerful, especially when you're going down that Crystal Saw route.
I mean, this is the identical composition that Gangstars played in their last game, was this Crystal Saw, and it worked very, very effectively. Hundor, though, you're gonna get away from this?
Imperial Sigil is used. Hundor, couple more auto attacks will take him down. And the Taka and the Koshka, too darn powerful for Hundor, is taken down as first blood in the game. So Avalanche, not in this game, it's no Tsunami who are on the board against.
It's interesting what they're doing with this Koshka Taka, this double assassin comp with one of them being played in the roam position. I don't even know how much of this Taka is going to be played roam. They'll have, it's going to be that storm crowd with either an aftershock or a tension bow, and then maybe some defense afterwards. Maybe we're going to be seeing kind of both Koshka and Taka going for a mix of like a fountain each, and just kind of sharing out the roam position. It's interesting. I think
it's probably going to be Koshka roam, just looking at how she's built thus far. So she'll probably get Fountain and then go Aftershock second, a little bit like when you play Fortress roam sometimes. Hundor will get Imperial Sigil there to get himself away. Reddick's now not in a good position at all, but a good bright bulwark in the suppressing fire there as well. Araxi stepped a little bit too far forward and will have to back away from the fight. But yeah, I think Sasiska will probably build Fountain and then into something like an Aftershock, just for that bit of extra burst on the Koshka, and be used more as a Yummy Cabinet friendly bot as the game gets later and later.
Yeah, that'll definitely work really well, and especially if Araxi goes for the tension bow as well, just because Hundor, he's not, the Crystal Saws, they really don't usually build that much defense. They're not, we usually see them going for maybe an Aegis, but the last game when we did see Gangsters playing this comp, it was a very, very quick game. I think it was like 15 minutes, and they were definitely in the lead throughout the whole game in terms of kills and objectives. And you'd expect the same thing this time. However, you can see that Sasiska and Araxi there, they're both dealing a lot of damage there onto Hundor. And I think it's really effective in keeping him forced back because they're not actually getting too much damage onto the turret. Here they go again. What nice rotations.
Hundor has to use Ruddy Run to get away. It's, as much as you say nice rotations, they kind of just ran straight down the lane at Hundor and Reddick. Like they didn't really rotate around as much as just said, okay, we're just going to run in a straight line and see if we can take down Hundor. But Reddick's in a good position to stop them from being able to do that. Dark Potato does get his own Treant, so he'll be healed up. And no Tsunami now needs to be a little bit cautious because a good Impale from Dark Potato could actually catch them out. Impale onto Avaxi, Gideon Wall doesn't knock him into the side, which is where Dark Potato was hoping that tackle would end up.
thing about that kind of does worry me about whatever Tsunami are doing is that from all the games last week, Dark Potato played a lot of Lance, and every time you'll go for the Storm Crown as well with, oh, Araxi!
Rip in pepperonis, boys. Araxi gets totally taken out. He has the Storm Crown first. Siska now not in a good position either. Needs to try and get away on that Koshka, but there's no way for him to escape apart from run all the way into the G2 jungle. Dark Potato's going to keep chasing him. One more auto is not quite enough. Hundor's coming down as well, seeing if he can catch out the cat. Dark Potato will spot him right in the bush. No! Not quite in time. So Siska able to get himself away on Koshka.
So very close there. And as I was saying before, Dark Potato on that Lance, you don't exactly have the best front line there in terms of a Koshka and a Taka. Like, there's so much mobility between the two. I'm wondering how well they can really defend PT Lamb, especially once they get into the late game, especially once Dark Potato picks up that Tension Bow and the Storm Crown, which he's been doing a lot in the Evil 8 recently. And I think, actually, once it gets to the late game, maybe this comp will be a little bit better, and the Susiska roam there might not work as well as they might want it to in the mid game.
Definitely a possibility. G2 able to back away from Snow Tsunami, who came back up into the lane. Gold pretty much Stevens at the moment. Impale onto Susiska once again. There's the Imperial Sigil to try and speed up Dark Potato, looking for the chase by Bulwark used as well. And PT Lamb is caught between his turret and the rest of his team, but he should be able to escape as G2 looking for the turret push now.
Yeah, and that turret's definitely going in fast. That's all I can say.
He's going to jump onto Hundor, though. Imperial Sigil is used, and Hundor just goes for the trade. Absolutely destroys the attacker, melting that Fox away. Even though Box wouldn't save him, G2 able to get that second kill of the game for themselves. Hundor is almost up to that level 6 mark as well. Probably about a third of a way away from it. Dark Potato to jump in here, but it's going to take some turret aggro. Switches across to Relic, so Dark Potato is able to get himself out safely.
I'm wondering if G2 should just maybe go down and shop rather than continuing this fight anymore. All three, well, Redix and Hundor especially, are sitting on a lot of gold. And if Redix can get a fountain in time for the next fight, that's going to be doing an awful lot there in terms of pushing that turret down. And it looks like they're going to do just that.
Should be okay for them at the moment. An even game once again, a European game you might say, with both teams not really taking a huge advantage in the early game. However, G2 still looking in a good position. We've seen this Lance-Saw combination work incredibly well as it gets towards the 10-minute mark or so. As soon as that Saw starts to get a bit of crystal power underneath his belt, he's already got the Broken Myth, so going to start melting away, and has Mad Cannon available. He's hit that level 6 spike. Dark Potato looking to see if he can land a good Impale on towards PT Lamb and Araxi once again. Not be able to do it just quite yet.
I feel that a Shatter Glass or even a more kind of damage heavy first item would have been a little bit better in terms of the burst. But I guess if you can get those stacks on behind
Yummy Catnip, they're going to jump in with the X-Retsu as well. They absolutely melt through the Saw, and Redix is the next target. They can't quite get onto the Dear Diary Lyra, and G2 will be able to escape with 2 of their lives intact.
Yes, well, I think the last one when Gangstars played this comp especially. Oh my god, Dark Potato!
He's jumping onto PT Lamb! That's a very brave move. Dark Potato takes the Arcane Passage out and gets himself out safely. Snow Tsunami do need to be a little bit cautious because Dark Potato does have that tension bow and can melt through any one of their squishy targets.
That is very true. And in the last time when Gangstars did play this comp, they also had a Koshka going into them, and one thing that they were really good at was blocking that Yummy Kind of Frenzy every single time. And what we just see, Hunter did just miss that, but that is because he has no reflex block. There is no Crucible on the side of Redix. So any fight that they can start off with that Yummy Kind of Frenzy is going to be a good one there, because it can really burst him down. Because Susiska, looks like he's really going for that Aftershock quite early on for the roam.
I'm not surprised by it. I think when you're playing Koshka Roam, you need that little bit of burst damage, and when you're building into like a Lyra who builds a lot of HP, that Aftershock works really well as well. However, I feel there's better picks than Koshka. You're just trying to lock one target down, well, as soon as we see reflex blocks coming out on Hundor and on Dark Potato, they can just stop that Yummy Catnip Frenzy and be able to get themselves away. I'm actually really surprised that we haven't seen earlier reflex blocks, especially on Hundor.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been prioritizing picking up that, the Heavy Prism and the Broken Myth. They're just all about damage there. But I think the later leave that reflex block to kind of the more the advantage you're losing. And that turret, actually, this is not how they want it.
A turret's going to fall. Dark Potato tries to jump in with the Impale. Will get stunned up with the Solar Storm. He needs a reflex block as well. Where are they? Fountain used there by G2 just to keep Dark Potato alive. And G2 able to take the gold mine away, not able to keep their turret alive. However, they can look for the push here. They've got good pushing potential. Impale on towards PT Lamb. He melts away. And Araxi jumps into the bright bulwark. He's going to have to try and Kaku to get himself away towards safety. But they do manage to get the counter kill on towards Dark Potato, who tanked the turret up for too long. Yoni Catnip Frenzy on towards Redix. He's going to fall as well. G2 do manage to eventually get the turret, but they lose 2 members for the favor.
Yep, and Hundor, I don't know if that's the best way to do the suppressing fire. Sisiska and Araxi just switch. Well, he's going to be alright there, but I mean, in terms of trade-offs and two members for 1 turret, I guess that's alright. I mean, it leaves them pretty even now, actually, in terms of everything. So 500 gold or 400 gold between the 2 teams. And they need that reflex block. Hundor, he just doesn't have the gold for it. Just went for that Eve instead of prioritizing that reflex block. And I think that's just a very bad mistake that they're making. Because that Koshka stun is locking them down for like 2 seconds every single time. And PT Lamb just landing a supernova on top of that straight after as well. It's, you know, it's forcing that fountain to come out from Redix very prematurely.
That's not what you want. Like, your fountain needs to be used, especially in fights like this that are going to be very skirmishy right at the last moment when everyone's quite low. Dark Potato keeps going in, keeps getting taken so low, and there again, fountain used so late, and it just wasn't able to do much at all. Reddit's going to have to try and get away, but Hundor jumps back through the arcane passage. It's the wrong way to go. You're not playing with portals correctly. Reddit's going to get jumped on here as well. X-Retsu, Yummy Catnip Frenzy, and an ace for Snow Tsunami. They absolutely wash away G2.
Well, Snow Tsunami, G2 actually, this is not how your game should be going. I'm questioning Redix going for that contraption before the Crucible, and I'm also questioning still the lack of reflex block in either Hundor or Dark Potato. Because what we're seeing is Dark Potato, he's lunging in with the Impale, putting himself out of position, and usually actually missing the Impale for actually as well, and PC Lamb's dodging it very well indeed. And then he just gets stunned by that core collapse, and it's just very unforgiving coming out from Snow Tsunami, and the lack of reflex block is just very disappointing because if they had those, they would definitely not be in the position that they are now. 2 turrets down.
It's just, yeah, I totally agree. You know, it's all about the lockdown. You know it's about core collapse. You know it's about Yummy Cabinet Frenzy. Why are you not building reflex block? Why are you not getting an early Crucible? It just does not make sense to me. Stormcrown's great, yeah, Dark Potato, yes. Perhaps you'll kill PT Lamb, but Araxi and Sasiska can just jump on top of you. And perhaps they're saying, well, Dark Potato has Githia War, you know, he can knock that Yummy Cabinet Frenzy away. Yes, he can, but Dark Potato's dead in most of these fights. Like, it's just not working out for them well at all.
Yeah, it just isn't, and they're training on to PT Lamb so much. But PT Lamb is doing a very good job of dodging everything. He actually doesn't have a reflex block himself either, but he's just not in the position to get caught out. Araxi jumping straight in there on Redix.
Exactly what Araxi can do now, because they have this advantage. They're 3,000 gold ahead. And Snow Tsunami can be as aggressive as they want, which is exactly what you want to be doing on this Taka. He's got Tension Bow, he's got Storm Crown. He looks like he might be building up towards the Tornado Trigger as well. Suppressing Fire does come out. There's the Impale again from Dark Potato, missing off towards the side. Look at how quick Snow Tsunami are as a team as well. You know, Taka's so speedy with those Kai stacks. Koshka's so speedy anyway with her Heroic Perk. The only one that really isn't low mobility hero is that Celeste. And every time he catches out Celeste, all of the rest of the team is just turning straight onto him.
For me, that's part of the reason why I think the Saw just isn't working very well. Because when he's putting Suppressing Fire on, it's very easy for Snow Tsunami to dodge it. And actually, because they're able to dodge it, he's not getting much damage onto them, and they're able to jump onto him very quickly. That wasn't something we saw in the Gangstar's SK game. And I think part of the reason why this comp isn't working out so very well for them, and also PT Lamb's positioning, he is staying in the ranged position. He's not putting himself too far forward, and he's not making those positioning mistakes that we've seen other people make so far. And Araxi, there he goes again.
Once again, Araxi is going to get melted away with the Suppressing Fire. There's the Impale. Dark Potato trying to take him down, but the Fountain was enough to keep the Fox alive. Yummy Cabinet Frenzy on towards Hundor, but Sasiska does not have the damage he would like. He will get melted away as well, but still, only Sasiska falling. We do see a good Helio from PT Lamb to pick out the kill on towards Redix as well. Hundor and Dark Potato decide not to go for the chase. PT Lamb very low on energy though. Dark Potato's going to step forward. PT Lamb does have enough for a couple more Helios. That's about it. Here comes Araxi. He's going to spot out Dark Potato. He's going to take down Dark Potato. Not the best place to back, my friend.
I mean, he was just a few seconds away from the turrets, which I think I could argue is a much better place to teleport there, especially when you know that Celeste and Taka is right under you. But it's kind of, I just feel like Snow, they're just playing this comp very, very well, and Dark Potato, he's also struggling to do kind of that, land those impales and those Githian walls just because of the mobility there. And part of the reason is, I think part of the reason why he's unable to do it is just because of the mobility, and partly also because PT Lab's positioning is well back there, so he's not doing it. It is good to see those reflex blocks finally coming out on G2, but is it too late now?
Quite possibly, in all honesty. I think G2 have just given up too much of an opportunity. It's going to be a breaking point actually for Araxi here. I like that a lot more than I like the tornado trigger that we saw earlier on Takas. However, I do worry for G2 because a lot of the power spike that comes out from Saw Lance is when you have that combination of Tension Bow Storm Crown and then the Saw there with perhaps a Broken Myth Shatter or a Broken Myth Eve. And as you get later on into the game, Dark Potato will fall off, and Araxi will still be able to jump onto Hondo, and Sasiska will get more damage actually as the game goes on, although Koshka tends to fall off. Bone Koshka doesn't in the same way because you're not relying on her for damage. However, she can start building things like a Storm Crown later on, and they're going to go for the Kraken now as well. Reddick's going to be the front line for them. Kraken down to about 2/3 HP already. Here come Hundo and Dark Potato. Reddick's actually standing near the back. PT Lamb's going to keep that aggroed. Araxi's off towards the side, just trying to get that healer for himself. There's the Impale onto PT Lamb, and he gets melted away. Hundo now needs to keep himself alive. Does manage to get the Dank Shank on towards Araxi. Sasiska's going to try and jump on top of him as well, but that catcher fall, not quite going to be able to get that reflex block down, and Hundo will fall just before the end. And now Araxi's going to see if he can take down Redix. But Dark Potato is just around the corner. Here comes the chase on towards the Taka. Bright Bulwark comes down as well. Good Githian Wall misses the Impale though. And Araxi might have the opportunity to get away. No, taken down there by G2, who eventually pick up the ace.
That was a fight that they needed. And I think there was a little bit of kind of oversight there on PT Land to stay on that Kraken a little bit too long. Took a little bit of damage there as well. And it was such an easy line for Dark Potato to land the Impale because we saw how much damage it did. I think it took her down to a third health at that point. And it was so easy for them to fall up as well. And the whole comp of Snow Tsunami's played around trying PT Lamb and keeping him safe, and by taking him out first, you're kind of left with these two heroes are assassins, and it's very easy to kind of follow them down, and thanks to Redix and his basic attacks, it's easy to keep track of where they are. So that, I think, was Snow Tsunami's moment to throw, I guess.
Moment to throw. Humanist would be very, very happy with them. They seem to have learnt the true art of the throw. After G2 sort of had a dabble, had a little tipple with the art of the throw earlier on. They had a taste, dip of the delicious nectar of the throwing gods, but decided they did not quite want it yet. However, they still have the opportunity to gulp it down later on. Snow Tsunami trying to defend against this Kraken. G2 not really able to position themselves aggressively enough because of those Helios coming out from PT Lamb. They'll try and let PT work through his energy bar, but that might take quite a long time. He has got an Eve and a Chronograph sitting in his inventory. There's the
nice
Impale onto PT Lamb though. The Yummy Captain Frenzy onto Dark Potato will stop him being able to do too much more, but Araxi might fall. One more Mad Cannon would be enough, but Hundo not able to get it off. Fountain just about coming out there in time for G2 to keep them alive. The Kraken falls, only one turret for it, and G2 don't get what they needed off the push.
I think Hundo really needs to go to shop down. 2,500 gold sitting there. And that was the problem with when you've got this comp and pushing with the Kraken, is that Saul can't use his suppressing fire, just because if he does, it's so very easy for Snow Tsunami to just switch and turn on him. He can't use his roadie run just because it's kind of his main escape mechanism. But oh no, it's this 2v3 situation here.
Redix is out for now. Araxi's decided to chase in. Suppressing fire comes out. Always a difficulty when you're playing into a Celeste using that suppressing fire, because you know you're rooting yourself in spot for the Helios. Dark Potato's going to step forward. Sasiska takes quite a bit. There's the Githian Wall. They're trying to take down the cat first, and the cat will fall. Now Araxi's going to see what he can do in towards these three members of G2. They're chasing PT Lamb. They definitely want to take down the princess, but the princess is in another castle all the way back at the sanctuary. G2 pick up their 9th kill of the game, and perhaps now have the opportunity to actually start to close this one out.
I mean, that Githian wall there at the very end, just as PT Lamb was channeling the Solar Storm, just completely saved Hondor's life because it made the lead star move way up and dodge all three members there. I mean, they got hit by the other trailing stars, but still, they don't do as much damage there. But yeah, definitely, this is a great. That was a fantastic fight. However, I think they kind of spent so long trying to get there actually that Sosiska's almost down. So is PT Lamb. So I don't think they're going to get that turret down. And all they can do is just take the jungle away from Snow Tsunami.
I have a dream that one day a team will fight when there's an objective on the map that will help them win the game. Today is not that day, apparently.
Today, maybe this will be another 25-minute game. Maybe.
Deary me. It's quite possible. You know, G2 and Snow Avalanche do seem pretty closely matched. I think G2 at the moment are showing that if they can split up the fight effectively and not have the layered CC that comes out from the core collapse and from the yummy Cabinet Frenzy jumping in, Araxi's going to jump on towards Hundo in the backline, and Hundo really doesn't have the protection he needs. He's already fallen. Yummy Cabinet Frenzy used onto Redix as he goes through the Arcane Passage, and Redix is dead as well. Dark Potato, once again the last man left standing here for G2, who needs to try and get away from Araxi, who will just be able to chase him down. The minion mine trying to help out Dark Potato a little bit, but not sure it has the damage it needs. Sosiska gets knocked back with the Githian Wall, but Araxi does not, and now the Kraken is on the cards. Snow Tsunami can look at taking away that objective and pushing towards the base of G2.
Such a back and forth game there, and just the fighting in such close proximity up there just made it very easy for PT Lamb to land her helios on all three members of G2, and she did exactly that. The Solar Storm came out and just completely wiped out Hundor. I just feel like when you do have Dark Potato and Redix left, they really do struggle to try and do anything to Sosiska and Araxi just because of the mobility. And this is such a mobile comp playing into a very immobile comp here, and they're doing it very well. And if Snow Tsunami can take out Hundor, then that's a fight that Snow Tsunami are going to win. And if G2 are going to be able to take PT Lamb out, then that's a team fight that G2 are going to win. It's all about trying to take out that laner for them first.
And it's one of the reasons G2 can't really fight around choke points too effectively, because it's so easy for the front lines, so Cisco and Araxi, to jump on towards Hundor if they're in a choke point. It's a lot more difficult if Redix can reposition him with Arcane Passage, if Dark Potato's there with the Githian Wall, just trying to stop that Paka and that Koshka being able to get on towards the Saw in the backline. He uses Mad Cannon to try and eat his way through this Kraken. Now, a lot of this is going to be on Hundo as well. They don't have the quickest Kraken-taking team in the world. Saw usually pretty good at it, but most of the time that's the weapon power source. Suppressing Fire will come out. PT Lamb gets locked up there with the Githian Wall. Dark Potato takes the Yummy Cabinet Frenzy to the face. Hundo does manage to pick up the first kill. Kraken still pounding away, though, on the base. And Snow Tsunami are looking to see just if they can distract G2, see if they can take at least one of these Vein Crystal turrets down. The first will fall as this Kraken gets the final auto-attack down. Redix takes a huge amount of pain. Helio after Helio pounding away on that Lyra, but the Kraken is now dead. Dark Potato jumps in! Should not have gone for that Impale. Hundo was nowhere near the fight. Dark Potato falls. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade and a turret going over to Snow Tsunami.
I mean, Dark Potato just really should not have gone in, and just they took down the Kraken. That is good enough for them, and he's not gonna pick up a kill there. And if you miss that Impale like he did, you can see the results. I mean, they are one jungler down. I was gonna say one potato down, but they are. Well, they are. They're down that Lance, and then in 2v2, I don't know how much Hundor can do against PT Lamb and Sosiska, because I don't think they could win that trade-off. But G2, for them, it's all about sticking together as a team, and I feel like PT Lamb and Sosiska could really easily just take them right now.
Yes, I agree with you. I think the Storm Crown, and it looks like it's probably going to be a Broken Myth coming out from Sosiska next. He's not going to get to Broken Myth. He's only got a Piercing Shard in his inventory, but the Piercing Shard makes a lot of sense. I think that is powerful enough to get through Hundor's very meek amount of shield. You know, he's only got
Here we go.
30 armor and a little bit of shield. Snow Tsunami are looking for something here. Dark Potato, there's the reflex block actually, and this is where they need to be looking for a fight. He has Impale, he has Roll. Lamb does not have reflex, and there's no Crucible on the team. This is when they should be going for things, but they just back away once again, using that Imperial Sigil for the heals. Araxi's in a good position to try and jump onto Hundor. Helio's not quite connecting off towards the side.
Yeah, it was a good choice for G2 to back away, because Redix doesn't have any flares. He's just getting one now, and you don't really want to be fighting against a Taka with no flares, because if you can jump in, you need to be able to keep track of where that Taka is all the time. And it is interesting what Snow Tsunami are doing. They're not really having a true roam here. Both of them are going for this hybrid build, hybrid kind of, I don't know, this attack. This I don't know. There is no true roam here, in the same way there is no true jungler here, and they're both dealing a lot of damage. And G2 are struggling against this a lot right now, and that Kraken is out again. This could be an easy Kraken for Snow Tsunami here.
It could be an easy Kraken, especially with double Storm Crown. They'll melt through it really, really speedily. already we see G2 are looking for it. They're going to just about spot out that it's happening. Will they steal it away? No, but a 3-man impale is huge. PT Lamb's going to get melted away. The fountain's enough, not quite to heal him up. Araxi will escape off towards the bottom side. And with the Kraken having been taken here for Snow Tsunami, G2 do just need to try and focus that down. Araxi's off towards the side as well.
Oh no,
He
they're
might
gonna
actually
rush,
go for a bit of backdooring. They've got minions. The Kraken's pushing in as well. Snow Tsunami are looking for the turrets. It's all down to Dark Potatoes to try and chase them out of this. Actually, Hundor is going to back away as well. I don't see Araxi being able to take this one down. Kyton's across, gets Githian ward back though, and that is a very dead attacker. Very brave move to try and go for the backdoor, especially with Sasiska getting slowed up with the Principal Arcane as well. Auto attack after auto attack coming out from Dark Potato. Misses the Githian ward, but that is a dead cat. And now we're going to see the Kraken fall as well. It is an ace for G2, but 20 seconds before PT Lamb comes back up, they're not going to be able to get anything out of this apart from taking down the Kraken before it takes down their base.
I feel that's a really, it's a smart idea coming out from Sasiska and Araxi just to go straight for the base. They both have a Storm Crown, there's a big wave of minions coming, and they know that G2 are trying to distract us and taking down the Kraken before he even gets close to the base. Fortunately, it was a nice move from Hunter teleporting back in time. That last turret, it's sitting on such low health, and that's all Snow Tsunami needs to take down before they win the game, as well as the Crystal. PT Lamb is out, and then Araxi and Sasiska will quickly follow. This is getting very, very tenuous for both of these teams now.
Like walking on a tightrope. Like whoever makes the next wrong move, you have to feel loses the game. And it's Snow Tsunami have been a bit fortunate that they've made a good move. Like so, they took Kraken, and that was good. But then they all grouped up and they got impaled and got taken out. But then they went for the push, which is also a good idea. And then they got taken out again. The problem is, because G2 have always been on the back foot, they've never initiated the good move. They've never been able to take anything out of it. PT Lamb does take a huge amount of pain from the impale. Hunter with a suppressing
so
fire is not smart positioning. But that's the problem with Saw. You've got to do that. You have to suppress yourself. You have to put yourself in a very vulnerable position. And you can always be taken out by the enemy team.
I think one thing, I'm looking at Redix's build path right now, and he's got that Shiver Steel, and I know that the bonus health gives you the bonus heal, but are they running for it?
Are they running for it is the question.
I don't know, I think they are, they're running for it.
They're going for it. They're trying to pull a team secret, boys. Can they do it? They're looking to try and get back towards the base. War Treads has been popped. G2 going to chase on towards PT Lamb. Missed the impale. Redix jumps in. Bright Bulwark is used. PT Lamb is dead. And now Araxi and Sasiska are the only two targets left alive for Snow Tsunami. Sasiska is just like, yeah, guys, chase me, please. Please, I'm a very tempting person to chase. Just try and get on towards me. And actually, Hundo and Redix will be able to chase Araxi down towards the bottom side. Gets into the Kaku, but isn't going to be able to escape for very much longer. Sasiska, however, might be able to get himself away from Dark Potato. Has that movement speed through the heroic perk. Here comes Hundo. Dank Shank, boys. 900 damage on that. Well, 893. And the Kraken has just spawned. And finally, G2 might be able to take something out of a one-team fight.
That was a really well-timed Kraken. It just looks like the backdoor just isn't working for anyone today. And I feel like if Snow Tsunami had just been a little bit more strategic about it, maybe just waited for the fight, because I feel like they're doing really well in the team fights. And because when they were running for it, PT Lamb was at the very, very back of the whole team. And it was so easy for them just to try and focus on PT Lamb because he was the first one in sight for them. And now, I mean, this might not be the end of the game yet. There are still three turrets left. Celeste really is very good at clearing that, but PT Lamb, goodbye.
Goodbye indeed. Dark Potato and Hundo able to take him down with Kraken pushing in and these minions coming in as well. It's up to Araxi and Sasiska to try and defend this, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Hundo, Redix, and Dark Potato showed their stuff last week, winning out the first week of the Evil 8. Sasiska's going to be pushed into the suppressing fire. Githian Wall comes out. Araxi's dead. Yummy Captain Frenzy blocked out with the Reflex block. Thank God for Hundo deciding eventually that he wanted to build an Aegis. And now with the Kraken pushing in, this is going to be the game for G2. They'll take the series 2-0 over Snow Tsunami. Great play by them eventually. However, I feel today has been not as strong across the board from Europe as it should have been. Give them some time, perhaps they'll be able to work out some of the kinks in the gameplay, but today has not been a bright display from the European teams.
I have to agree with you. I think there wasn't the team play, the games, they weren't as fluid as they were, and we're seeing a lot of mistakes being made by the teams. In that last game especially, I think